Hey, quick little disclaimer here for those of you who don't remember the last episode, but this episode was actually recorded all the way back in November of 2025, meaning that it's a little outdated. We're talking about Dispatch, which is something that came out a couple of months, ago, and people have kind of stopped talking about it already. But we recorded and edited the entire episode, and we don't want it to go to waste, so we're releasing it now as kind of a bonus episode. The next episode, which is about Iron Lung, will be released fairly soon, whenever I finish editing it. I don't know. Leave me alone. Anyway, end of disclaimer. Go and enjoy the rest of the episode. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Not in Harmony podcast, where we have a small apology to make, because on the end of the last episode, I promised that on the next one I would eat a bowl of live bees, and then we didn't do an episode for over a month, and I don't have any fucking bees. So, sorry about the lack of content. We're terrible at our jobs.
You can blame the cats for that.
Why would you throw your cats under the bus like that? What the fuck?
No, not my cats. There's this folklore. I can't remember where it is. There's as to why there's no bees in a certain area. It's because all the cats and birds attacked them. You can blame the cats and the birds.
Oh, I didn't think you were going. I didn't think you were talking about the bees there specifically. I thought you were talking about why we didn't get an episode out.
Oh, no, I was talking about bees. We were trying to find bees, and we couldn't find any because the cats and the birds ate them all. Or
because
chased
I
them away.
ate them all. I got hungry. I ate all
Well,
the bees.
I mean, I know you're a glutton for punishment, but come on, man.
I am not. What? The fuck are you talking about? I'm not some kind of weird masochist. I eat bees because they're tasty.
All right, Markiplier, calm down.
I'm not a masochist, and I don't even think you know Markiplier well enough to know if he's a masochist.
Everyone knows that Markiplier is a fucking masochist.
People who are parasocial with Markiplier know that Markiplier, or quote-unquote know that Markiplier is a masochist. I don't watch Markiplier.
He is a fucking masochist.
I don't watch Markiplier, and also you have no way to know if that's a bit or not.
It's like a common fucking joke between him and his fans. It's like, am I a masochist? You'll never know. That's pretty much what it is.
Good for you. I don't watch. I haven't watched a Markiplier video. I think the last time I watched anything Markiplier was related was when he did that stream about his position on AI. I watched some of that.
Oh yeah, I watched that one too. I was there for the whole thing.
I just kind of watched some of the clips that were passed around on Twitter because I was like, I'm semi interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really invested in whether or not Markiplier is anti-AI or not. Glad that he is.
I found it interesting because, he has a big platform. So, he has a lot of influence. So
yeah. It's one of the reasons that it got so much attention was the old clips of him using ChatGPT and kind of justifying the use of it to ask questions and stuff. And, whatever. Anyway... topics for the podcast. We have two major ones. We have the one that you want to discuss, Dispatch, and then we have the super secret. I've been messing with you by consistently mentioning that I have a topic that I won't tell you about for the podcast.
Sure, dude. Totally messing with me.
Yeah, no. I just like not telling you stuff. And I also just want to hear you. I want to hear your reaction to hearing this. I want that recorded because it's a slight callback to something that we talked about last time, actually.
Oh, is it now?
It is, yeah. We talked about it on the last episode. Briefly.
You're being a cryptic motherfucker?
Yeah. I mean, if you remembered the last episode, you might be able to figure out what it was, but...
I remember the last episode, but I also have a really shitty memory, so come at me, I guess.
I remember it, but also my memory sucks.
I know the gist of last episode. Horror movies.
Well.
Silver Symphony episode 4 progress. That's the gist of it.
There was a few other things in there that we briefly touched on, that one of which will come back on this episode. But would you like to get into talking about Dispatch first?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so... if you have been living under a rock recently,
That's so funny to say because I didn't even get the game until it was just about to end.
Okay, I didn't buy the game until it was about to end either, but that's because I didn't have fucking money.
I didn't even know it released until it was about to end.
True, valid.
If you don't know what dispatch
So, what
is,
kind of
it
rock
has-
do you live under? Igneous?
I don't live under a rock. I just don't pay attention to mostly to game
Current
releases.
medias?
I don't it's not really it was the sort of game that I wasn't really expecting to play because it's not really the sort of thing I tend to go for. But I did have fun playing it, even if I have some strong opinions here and there.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I have my strong opinions about it too. But
Ooh, let's
it's
get
definitely
into it.
like okay. The reason why I even want to bring up Dispatch in the first place on this podcast is because like it's why I even want to bring it up in the first place is because I really wanted to talk with you specifically on the casting decisions of who got cast in what roles. And how the writing shows off their strengths as each characters.
Interesting.
Not the how the writing shows off their strengths as actors. Sorry, not as characters. Because for me personally, I think they did a pretty good job. But I want to know your opinions on it because I know everyone typically has like the really strong opinion of like, oh, if a big name is being cast for something, then it's just because it's a big name, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I think
there's no rhyme or reason as to why they were being cast for in the first place.
I think there was
Or
a lot
just
of reaction
because
to
it's a
that
big
when it comes to specifically screen actors being cast, because this does feature several prominent Hollywood actors, specifically Aaron Paul and Jeffrey Wright. But I think for me, when I saw that, I immediately went, they'll do good because they're not just screen actors. Aaron Paul has done tons of voice work. In addition, people kind of mainly look at him and go, oh, it's Jesse from Breaking Bad, which is what I did. I looked at him and went, oh, it's Jesse. But he's been doing voiceover work before. He's in BoJack Horseman, and he did a couple episodes of Invincible. He was really good. And Jeffrey Wright, I mean, I don't know as much voice work from him. He's in like Marvel's What If, which is shit. But he has a fantastic voice. So I kind of just...
Who does Jeffrey voice? Sorry.
That's
Just
Chase.
Chase, good.
Yeah. The older version of Chase, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. Jeffrey Wright...
Oh, obvious spoilers, by the way. I guess.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about this like you know everything. So if you don't know anything about Dispatch, go watch my entire playthrough on YouTube.
And my entire playthrough on Twitch.
Unless you're
The
watching
VOD's
this,
up.
unless you're watching this after Vexen's VOD has expired, in which case go watch mine because it's multi-streamed to YouTube and will be up forever.
Sure.
That's why I multi-stream my my playthroughs of single-player games.
Valid.
But
anywho,
yeah, no, I've seen Jeffrey Wright in a couple of other things. I've seen him in he's in the Daniel Craig Bond movies sporadically, and he was in Westworld, which is fantastic for one season. And he was in the Batman, the Robert Pattinson Batman. He's really, really good in that. He's really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I looked at the whole cast and was like, everyone in here is pretty solid. The only ones that I think that most people would look at a little squiffy were Moist Critical and Jacksepticeye, because they kind of look at them and they're like, oh, they're casting YouTubers. What's going on? That was I remember when I watched the reveal trailer for it at the Game Awards last year, I think.
Yeah, I remember that. It was at the Game Awards.
Yeah, because you were there.
Yeah.
We were watching it together with a bunch of people on my stream.
Yeah.
I love streaming the Game Awards. But I remember hearing Moist Critical in that, and I was like, what the fuck? Why is Moist Critical here? I would say that
those twinks.
You gonna eat those twinks? But I think Critical is probably the only one that kind of stands out as like, hey, that sounds like Critical, because his voice is very distinct. He has a distinct monotone to how he speaks, and as a result, he definitely stands out. But I don't think he's bad. I don't think he delivers a bad performance. I think it's kind of noticeable. Like I've seen a lot of people taking clips of his YouTube videos and streams and putting them over like footage of Sonar, and it just sounds exactly like even the mic quality is the same. Like you could literally take audio of Sonar and just dub it into his videos, and it would feel completely natural. You know?
Yeah, it would. I could agree with that. Because like the reason why I ask you that specifically is because one night while I was having a revelation, I guess you could say, I was watching specifically Grizzy's playthrough of it, and I just it occurred to me how they're using these actors' strengths in cooperation with the writing and how it boosts the characters' personalities like tenfold, might I mention.
I would say that, yeah, they definitely write the characters kind of feel like a lot of the time, especially Jack and Charlie's characters, definitely feel like they were written with those people in mind. Like, Sonar is a really good example of that, I think, because he's kind of the main one that I think of when I think of this, is that a lot of the shit that he says is kind of comes off like something that he would say in a Critical video, because Critical tends to say a lot of weird, out-of-pocket shit.
Yeah.
And Sonar will also just kind of say weird shit every now and then.
Yeah, so they play to Moist Critical's strengths a lot when it comes to Sonar specifically, but I'm talking a lot more when it comes to the other Z Team members too, because Prism is voiced by Thought Squad. I can't remember her actual name right now, so forgive me, but she is like an actual artist, and she actually writes and produces all the songs that you hear by Prism in the game.
Yep.
And her personality shines a shit ton more as Prism as it compared to, even Punch Up, honestly. Because when you look at Punch Up's writing, they're not writing Jack. They're writing somebody else. They're not writing to Jack's goofiness. He is actually a really good actor, in my opinion,
I think he did a good job. I haven't heard enough of him acting outside of this to say for sure, but I thought he did a pretty... I actually, like, one of the things that I remember seeing of him, I think yesterday, was him finishing his playthrough and talking about his experience recording it, and saying that one of the nicest compliments you can get is people not really realizing that it's him, because it doesn't sound like... one of the biggest problems that you get with casting YouTubers in voiceover roles is what's commonly called YouTuber accent, where they just kind of sound like they're narrating a YouTube video. And Jack doesn't sound like that. I think he did a really good job with Punch Up. I don't think
because he had to change his base accent too, because originally he's from the same place where Punch Up is. I can't remember exactly where in Ireland Punch Up is from, but they were born in the same place. So he had to go back to his roots for his actual accent, like when he was growing up, because it's changed over the years.
I didn't know that. And because, so the accent that I've heard him talk in most, because I don't watch a lot of Jacksepticeye, but his accent didn't really sound all that much different from how I'm used to hearing him. I think he did a solid job. I don't think it's like a super challenging role or anything, but it's fun. He doesn't. Punch Up's kind of a a lot of the Z Team especially they do the same writing trick that I feel things like My Hero Academia kind of do, where they have an extended cast of very colorful and very identifiable characters. They're not necessarily very deep, but you get enough surface level characterization that you can infer a lot more about them, because you get a strong sense of how they behave very quickly. And that's really all down to just consistent characterization through dialogue and other various things, which I thought they did a good job with all of them. I mean, I I like all of them for the most part. I mean, the only one that I didn't really get a lot of time with really was Coop, and because I cut her, that was my my cut. And I didn't really get a lot of time with Waterboy because I didn't pick him for Z Team. I picked Phenomaman.
Mm-hmm. I picked him. I picked Phenomaman too. Honestly, I could not pick the himbo. I'm sorry.
I think he's so funny because there's just so many bits, like the bit where he talks about. I don't know if you got this dialogue option, but for those who don't know, Phenomaman was dating one of the love interests, Blonde Blazer, before she broke up with him, and then he's depressed for the rest of the game, or for a chunk of the game. And one of the jokes is he talks about, yes, we used to eat by an active volcano, and then we would make love. And Robert says, like, you don't need to tell him about your sex life. And he goes, no, we did not have intercourse. My alien genitalia was not compatible with hers. So it's just like, he looks like a normal dude, but he has a weird alien dick. Okay.
It's so, like, the comedy in this game is so good, too.
I would say that it's very standard for what I see from Critical Role. Because the only other thing I've really seen from them is the Legend of Vox Machina thing on Amazon Prime. And it's the same general style of humor where it's a lot of vulgarity. But I think they do a good job at, for the most part, I think one of the issues that you have with a game like this, or with this kind of comedy, is making sure that characters have their own unique way of speaking. You know? If you were to take individual lines of dialogue from every character and separated them from the character, just wrote them down and picked them out of a hat, how easy would it be to actually tell which character it is just from the words they choose to use in the actual line itself? I think with this game it would be decently easy, but there's definitely a couple characters that kind of fall into the we just say fuck a lot kind of thing, but
yeah. I think that's Invisigirl territory right there.
Yeah, Invisigirl's been the big talking point around the game since it ended. What did you? Let's actually. That's one thing I actually want to talk about is which choices did we individually make? Because one thing I will say is that the choices don't really matter that much. They really don't.
No, they don't. But I will argue that even though, yeah, technically they don't really matter, it's the thing I love about Telltale games. It's about the journey you take more than the actual destination. I love enjoying the environments and the tension and the moral dilemmas that these games put you in. It's I don't know. It's kind of a nice form of, entertainment, and that's all it is to be. Like, yeah, we got super fucking spoiled with Detroit Become Human. I'll be 100% with, like, all of Detroit Becomes Human's different endings and all that.
Yeah.
But comparing Dispatch to Detroit Become Human is, I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair in my opinion.
I think it's a fair comparison in the sense that they're both kind of trying to do the same thing, because Dispatch very much positions itself as a choose your own or form your own story. And the thing that I think I said about it when I finished it on stream was, this is a really solid season of television. It's not a very good video game, because
I would actually argue the video game part.
I like the actual gameplay.
I'll get to that in a minute.
I will say, the actual dispatching gameplay is kind of shallow, but for the most part, I actually really enjoy it. Helps that I'm pretty good at it.
I loved the actual gameplay. Like, the part where you hack stuff. I didn't like doing it on the keyboard, but I love doing it with the controller. It was easier to do that stuff with the controller for me.
I never tried it with a controller, so I can't. I had a pretty easy time with it on keyboard, but I would say that for me, I think my biggest issue when it comes to the gameplay side of it is that one of the things that's nice about Detroit and other kind of story-focused games is I think the gameplay should interact with the story. It should feel like the bits where you're playing the game actually influences what happens. And that does not happen in this game. It's very, the actual gameplay segments even can be very, episode, what is it, episode 2, will always end with Invisigal going after Thunderstruck or whatever his name is. All these things, there's a lot of encounters that are story specific and have to happen and will always happen. And things like a hero getting severely injured or knocked out in a game only affects you during the gameplay. So it's like if Flambe gets blown up at some point in the gameplay section, he's just fine when you see him next time in a cutscene. That doesn't actually matter in any meaningful way, which is kind of, I get why it's like that, because it would take a lot more effort to make things like that matter. But I kind of wish that it did, because I think that could be really compelling as a game type. I think one of the reasons that Detroit Become Human is so compelling is that it feels like whenever you're just walking around doing stuff, that you can, like, for a random example, the scene in Detroit Become Human when Kara is breaking free from her programming and the abusive guy that owns her is beating his daughter. If you find a weapon downstairs before going upstairs, if you just search around and find something, you could kill that guy and he's just dead, and that'll actually have ripple effects throughout the story. Whereas there's nothing really like that in the actual gameplay of Dispatch, which is why I kind of put it down to it's a good season of TV, which is funny because it actually releases episodically, where there's a lot of TV shows now that actually don't do that. So it's actually kind of out TVing TV in some way.
Let's put a pin in the TV discussion, because I want to quickly bring up something. There actually is something like that, where like your decisions in the actual dispatching affect outside cutscenes.
Is that with the final dispatching with the boss fight?
In the final battle, if you don't defeat Coop or Sonar, you can't make the decision of, hey, they're with us, you can come, like, join the party and such,
Yeah. I actually know that,
but
because I didn't beat that.
It's literally the only one, though.
Yeah, I didn't beat that.
You didn't beat them?
No, I didn't, because I got really fucking bad luck. The first time I sent somebody after her, I sent Malevola and Phenomenon, and it was like a 69% chance, and it just barely missed somehow.
Oh.
Yeah, and then Phenomenon got depressed. So
dude, I kicked her ass so hard.
I waited too long because I was planning on sending Phenomenon in against her because he's really good at combat. But the one thing that really irks me about it, and this is one thing that I will say that really pissed me off about the ending. What ending did you get? I want to know first.
I'm actually gonna pull up my VOD so I could, look at exactly what I got, because I don't quite remember off the top of my head.
Well, just broad strokes. I mean.
Okay, yeah. I got Romanced Invisigal, True Hero, I Killed Shroud, and I brought Coop back into the Z team.
Cool. So my ending, I romanced Blonde Blazer because she's the better choice in my opinion.
I was so shocked to find out you were a Blonde Blazer simp.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't think either one of them is a bad choice. I do really enjoy that the online discourse around it has been one side going, Blonde Blazer is better, and the other side yelling, Invisigal is better, and then the actual intellectual sitting in the corner going, Malevola can get it, though.
Malevola can get it, though.
Malevola is so fine. Oh, my God.
She's so good.
Please, if you're watching Critical Role, please make her romanceable in Season 2. I will literally skin someone alive to make it happen. Anyway, but my ending was, I went for Blonde Blazer because I liked her a lot. I do like Invisigal. I like both of them as options. I think that, but I kind of think that as much as, like, if given the chance, I would totally try and date Invisigal, against my better judgment, mind you. I don't really see her with Robert. I don't really like that as a pairing. I don't think Robert and her work together because I kind of it just doesn't work for me as well. But the thing is, the thing that really annoyed me about it was, I don't know if this is a glitch or not, but I trusted Invisigal through everything. I defended her to the Z team when they wanted to cut her. I forgave her when she told me her backstory. And then and I untied her in the basement as well. I untied her when Royd zip-tied her. And then at the end of the game, she just turned on me anyway and killed Shroud.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, that felt really because I actually wanted to spare Shroud because I like Shroud. I think he's a cool ass villain. Let me ask you, this is a weird one actually, because I was seeing this.
I've got opinions, but
I was seeing this in foot. What color is Shroud's mask?
red.
It was black. For me, it was black. I swear it was a black mask.
What?
Yeah. When I was playing it, I was like, I saw footage of it on Twitter of of some of the final cutscenes, and I was like, why is his mask red? And I didn't get a chance to look back on my VOD and see if it was just maybe it was a visual bug or something. But I swear his mask, because it couldn't be a rendering error, right? Because there's no rendering. The game isn't rendering any of the cutscenes in real time. They're all video files.
Yeah, so, they're all video files. There's no way.
So I swear his mask was, maybe I'm insane. But I'm gonna go back and look at that later.
I think you might be a little insane, buddy.
I might be insane, but I don't want to screw up the screen capture and check now. But
fair.
But no, I mean the thing is that I felt really strongly that when it popped up saying you neglected Invisigal, my thing was no, I didn't. I trusted her completely and implicitly, despite the fact that she really crossed a line at one point in that locker room scene, because that was the one instance of save scumming I had in the game was actually restarting that scene because I accidentally hit lean in instead of lean out, and I was like, I'm being faithful to my blonde baddie. I'm not doing that. And that's such a that scene really bothers me because my biggest issue with Invisigal is that she has such a kind of writer's bias on her, you know?
She kind of does, yeah.
Somebody pointed this out because I hadn't seen both sides of it, but if you choose to romance Invisigal, Blazer is totally fine with it, and there's nothing pointing you towards back towards Blazer. If you romance Blazer, there's a ton of bits where it'll just cut to Invisigal giving you puppy dog eyes, like, oh, I wish he liked me, and I kind of don't like that. I kind of don't like the narrative kind of pushing you in one direction. Because it's make your choice. And then it's are you sure you want to make that? Don't you want to make the good choice? And no, let me make my own choices, man. Fuck off.
I mean, it could just be a character thing, though. That's just kind of, maybe. It could just, well, think about it this way. Invisigal's original mission was to place a bomb onto Mecha Man, right?
Yeah.
So, with that big hole in his chest, I think the original plan, when it came to the bomb placing, was that she had to place the bomb inside of the mecha suit. Because she says, I quit as soon as I placed the bomb. Because she didn't place the bomb where she was supposed to place it.
I kind of don't think that's the case, because if she placed it right in that hole there's a much better chance he would have noticed it. Placing it on the back of the suit actually ensures that it'll probably go off and do the most damage. Strategically, it makes more sense to not put it where he can direct. Because when she looks through that hole in his chest, she's looking right at his face. So in terms of placement, also I don't think it would fit there. It was kind of a big bomb. But
it was narrow enough.
Maybe if you forced it in, but that's solid metal. You'd have to kind of pry open it. I don't think it would work. My biggest issue with Invisigal's character, though, is they kind of threw in this whole oh, is she a double agent working for Shroud? And I think that would work. Here's my thing. That whole storyline, I think, would work way better if you didn't have the sex scene dream at the beginning of episode 4. Because that's the only scene that isn't from the perspective of Robert. So moving forward from that some of her going after Robert or pursuing him romantically is genuine. you know she has at least some level of attraction to him. So the idea that she's just trying to get with you to manipulate you for Shroud, and you can kind of like throw like ambiguity onto whether or not she's trustworthy, that kind of falls apart when it's the one thing that as an audience member, as a player, you know she does actually have feelings for you. That felt like such a baffling decision to me, because if you wanted to make the player feel that she might not be trustworthy and that maybe you shouldn't trust her, and that would, I think, be way stronger, especially for the neglect ending, where it's like you can actually reasonably go both ways. You know, I think you should. I mean, they kind of do it with the whole her taking the astral pulse, which I think is fucking stupid. I thought that whole thing was dumb as hell. Like,
there was not enough time for her to take the astral pulse in the time that we were talking to her, by the way. I'm just pointing that out.
There
just
was not. I totally agree with you there. The other big problem is she doesn't have a good reason to not tell him. She's like, "Oh, I was doing it to protect you." One of the best ways to protect him in this situation is to give him the pulse so he can be Mecha Man again.
I know!
The best way to protect him is to give him the suit back, you fucking idiot. And she has a whole day before he runs into Shroud. And, like, Shroud not having the astral pulse is just going to make Robert a target. Like, if anything, you're putting a target on his back by doing that. So, like...
Yeah, no.
It was real. Like, the thing that really... Hang on, I need to get water. Water! Hydration!
Okay, while you're getting water, my biggest question is, why didn't Shroud just try to continuously go after Invisigal instead of Robert? Like, yeah, it's Robert. He was kind of, like, right there in the bar at the time, so, like, maybe it was a good time to go after him. Sure, whatever. But Shroud is supposedly this guy who thinks out everything ahead of time. And
he's Mr. Calculations, yeah.
Yeah, he's Mr. Okay. I know everything. He's the new all for one. Fucking.
I have a bigger issue with that, actually, which is if he's so fucking smart and he made the astral pulse, why does he need the astral pulse? Can't he made something similar to power his weird eyeball mech thing. Why can't he just make another astral pulse?
I know. Like, was it limited materials or something? Or
I don't think that's the case, because he made something that could power his mech suit. I mean, the only difference with that thing was that it was bigger. But, like, if he can make the little astral pulse...
You know what? Maybe it's not a matter of him needing the astral pulse. Maybe it's a matter of him wanting the astral pulse because he doesn't want anyone else to have that power.
I think if
why make it again? Why go through all that shit again when it's already made? So he could just steal it back from someone who took it from him in the first place.
I think because the reasoning behind it would be you make another one so you can power your weird head thing. He sticks it in his skull at the end, you know.
Yeah.
And then use the infinite power and super intelligence that you gain from that. You'll have a much easier time taking back the original astral pulse and either safeguarding it as a backup or destroying it so nobody else can have it. You know, I should
mention, I've read the comics, by the way, and in one of the comics, Robbie, aka Robert's father, Mecha Man, not Prime, but Mecha Man Blue, I think it was. No, Mecha Man Blue is Robert. I don't know. The second Mecha Man, the second one, the second Mecha Man, and Elliot Shroud were talking about Shroud being on the Bridge Brigade. The Braid Brigade?
Brave Brigade,
I don't know.
Yeah.
The Braid Brigade, the superhero team. And
Braid Brigade.
The Braid Brigade, I don't fucking know.
Everybody aboard the Braid train. Mabel all over again.
But no, like they were talking about Elliot joining the superhero team, and Mecha Man was like, "No, I don't think you're ready yet." Yada yada yada, and then it devolved. It devolved into them getting into a fight, and Elliot wanting his pulse back But then Chase got into the middle of the fight right when right when Elliot was on like literally the verge of death.
Oh.
So, like I said, the thing with him just wanting it back because fuck Robbie could also be a thing, you know? Like, hey, I killed your dad already, just fucking give me my balls back. I just want it back at this point.
I feel like if he wanted it back so bad, he would make himself as powerful as he could, and that would involve just making another one and sticking it in his brain.
Isn't that also why he has like a bunch of backup though? Like the entire Red Ring?
And the big mech suit and stuff, which he only pulls out at the end. That was a cool mech suit. It was a cool design. I'll give him that.
That was so cool. Yeah, it was great.
That was pretty cool. I like when they use the wokeness beam to Prism and Blazer combo.
Taste the rainbow, motherfucker!
Gay beam! Hit him with the homo ray. You know?
Bitch, you blind forever.
That was a really good
iconic thing.
She temporarily blinded me. Fuck you mean temporarily? Bitch, you blind forever. I was also a big fan of Flambe's singing about Robert having a small dick.
I'm a bitch. My name's Robert. Such a bitch whose name is Robert. Such a bitch. I love
the line.
Such a fucking bitch.
I like the I don't know if you got the dialogue, but if you send him towards a cult at one point, they say, "Oh, they accused me of being a closeted homosexual," and his comeback to it is, "I skipped the closet and went straight to the club," because he is actually gay.
I know he is gay. Yeah, I did not get that dialogue though.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
Of course he's gay. His name is Flambe and he wears a V-neck. I mean, come on, how much gayer?
Do you see how deep that fucking V-neck is? Goddamn.
Like, yeah, they almost needed a censor bar for that goddamn thing.
I feel bad for how long it took me to realize this, but his accent is actually from Afghanistan.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's from Afghanistan. His voice actor genuinely speaks like Flambe does.
Oh, cool.
Like
I didn't
realize it.
The only other voice actor thing that I knew about was the bit from when they reveal their names. Malevola's actress gives her a last name, and it's the last name of her actual stepfather, who was like her dad. That kind of, I believe he passed away before the game came out, but
yeah, he did.
She improv'd that and didn't know if they would keep it. She was very happy when they did. I saw a Twitch clip of her reacting to the game or playing the game and finding that out and being very emotional about it. It was very sweet.
Too. That was so cute.
It was very sweet. I'm glad that
I didn't know it was her stepfather. I thought it was her father. But,
no, it was she said it was her stepdad who raised her, so he was basically her father.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. But hey, awesome for her. Really happy about that. Yeah, no, fucking Malevola's the best. She was honestly, like, her and Prism were two of my major go-tos in the actual gameplay segment. Prism because she had a lot of good charisma and she was good for that stuff, and Malevola because Demon Mama.
I ended up using my most used hero was actually Flambe.
Really?
Because I chucked a shit ton of mobility and strength into him.
My only thing with leveling Flambe is that I did not level his intelligence once. He stayed stupid. Like,
oh yeah, no, same here. Fuck his intelligence.
That's really funny.
He gay and stupid.
He gay and dumb.
No, but in all seriousness, no, I think I also put my flight license on Flambe. That was actually really good too. I'm glad I put my flight license on Flambe.
I believe I put mine on Sonar. I like Sonar a lot. He was funny. He said a lot. He talked about boobs a lot, so I can relate to him.
He did. Also, honestly, I hate saying this, but I low-key kind of regret putting Sonar on my team.
Why?
and I mean this in the nicest way possible. He's funny. He's amazing. I love his personality. But one, he got kind of annoying at some points. And two, I liked his fight, his like boss battle fight, better than Coop's writing wise. Coop's felt more intense and like, I guess obviously for me it's gonna feel more canon because that was the one I went through on my playthrough, so therefore it just feels natural to me because that was natural set of consequences. But Sonar's fight specifically was really, really like good, and it was so cool to see like his bat form. I don't know, just fighting a giant monster versus fighting a ballet angel is kind of just seems more fun.
I think for me, I felt like, because I knew that whoever we cut was going to end up with the bad guys. That was just obvious.
Yeah.
But I felt like it made more sense for Coop than it did for Sonar, because Sonar just doesn't really feel that evil. He never comes across as malicious at all, really. He seems like a big goof, you know?
He does.
His biggest crime is liking a crypto bro. I mean,
it's basically the world's equivalent of Elon, yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Gross.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue I had with the game overall was really that snafu I had with the ending where it told me that I neglected Invisigal, and I really didn't. I mean, it just the thing with Invisigal to me is that it makes her come across like such a child, because that was the one thing that really that kind of changed my perspective on her a little bit, was somebody pointing out, yeah, she's 27 acting like this, and like she acts like a rebellious teenager, and it does get kind of irritating when you're like, okay, can you maybe act a little bit? That's one of the reasons I don't like her with Robert, is she feels so immature compared to him, you know?
Yeah, I getcha.
And I don't know. I like him with Mandy, with Blazer.
I could see that. I find it personally kind of like, I understand, yes, she's older. She's 27, but like if this character were like younger in the younger adult age range, like 20, 21, would y'all really be excusing any of her fucking behavior? Just gonna put that out there.
If she was a teenager.
No, my recording stopped.
Oh no.
Kane, you bitch.
I'll have to resync
All
that.
right.
Hooray.
Sorry.
It's okay.
He pressed on my space bar.
This is why I don't get why you let your cat go on your desk.
Me.
I can't imagine the anxiety that would give me.
Anywho, answer my question. If Invisigal were around the younger adult area, like 19, 20, 21, would her actions be excusable, like genuinely? Because that's where everyone else ages their characters to be like, oh, well, they're young, they're dumb.
Here's the thing. If she was like 15, I would give her a pass on this kind of shit. But once she's like in her 20s, once her age starts with a 2, this shit becomes ridiculously unacceptable. Especially going back to the locker room scene, her kissing Robert without consent is...
Oh, that's always unexcusable. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, no, that's just like such a boundary. It almost feels out of character for her. Except the sad part is...
A little bit, yeah.
It's not as out of character as it should be, you know? Because she does cross people's boundaries a lot, and she does make people uncomfortable a lot, and she does lie to people a lot, and she is kind of a bit of a shit sometimes. So her doing that doesn't feel as out of character as it maybe should be, and that's actually kind of a bigger problem in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think she's really well performed, don't get me wrong. I think Laura Bailey is fantastic in everything she will ever do ever. Straight up, she's amazing.
Beautiful actress.
She is amazing in everything she does. And it's the same rule I have with Aaron Paul. He's great in everything, even when the things he's in are bad. I've seen him. It's actually funny. I just realized this isn't the first thing I've seen that involves both Aaron Paul and Jeffrey Wright, because they were both in Westworld.
Oh.
Except Aaron Paul got into Westworld in season 3 when it was really, really bad.
Damn.
Yeah, I've said this to you before, I think. Westworld is the steepest drop-off in quality between seasons of television that I've ever seen, because the first season is like one of the best seasons of television I've ever watched. Season 2 is fucking abysmal, and season 3 made me want to kill everyone involved and then myself. Oh, it's so ass.
Oh, goodness. All right. We put a pin in it earlier, but I wanted to ask your opinion on the TV, like the episodic side of things, because this is the first time in a while, at least as far as I've seen, ever since Detroit, that we've gotten something episodic like this. Was Detroit episodic?
Detroit was not episodic.
No, it wasn't. No, it was a full game. My bad.
Yeah, it was.
King, off my desk. You've lost privileges. Anywho, what I was saying, because the last time, specifically Tall Tale, the last time Tall Tale did anything before they went under, it would take months for a new episode to release, and people would wait, and they would be so fucking excited for everything to come. And now that ad hoc is, because let's be honest, this is not a Telltale game. It's an ad hoc game. It's a new company. And
it's just got a lot of the same people.
It's got a lot of the same people, but it's a completely new company.
It's the same way that Respawn is kind of Infinity Ward, except they don't make Call of Duty anymore. You know, it's a lot of the same people.
You get it. But the ad hoc came out with weekly episodes, and yet it's such a different shift in comparison to how patient the fandom has been, in how it used to be. Like, we used to wait months for an episode to come out when it came to like the Walking Dead seasons and the Wolf Among Us and the Batman Tall Tale series. And now that everything is happening every other week, and we're getting 2 episodes every week, we got 2 episodes every week. Everyone's being like, "I shouldn't wait for we shouldn't wait a week for everything."
Yeah,
what do you think of that?
Okay, I just want to point out, you keep saying Tall Tale. It's Telltale. I was like,
Telltale. Oh.
Yeah, I was like, have I been getting it wrong this whole time? No, it is Telltale.
I keep calling it Tall Tale. My bad.
Yeah.
Telltale, Tall Tale. They're so similar.
Well, yeah, it's one letter off, but the thing that I would say about the episodic release, I think it's a really good strategy for releasing stuff, but I think the big breaks between episodes, especially with the length of the episodes, I think that this release strategy they've had for Dispatch, where they do 2 episodes, you basically get 2 hours of content every week, and that's really good for streamers. It's really good for getting the game out there, and you don't get as much drop off in interest, because one of the problems with like really big gaps between releases is, we're seeing this right now actually with the final season of Stranger Things coming out, where it's like the last season came out like 3 fucking years ago. So there's the interest has dropped. It's the same thing that happened. It's the reason I never watched Has Been Hotel when that came out, because I watched the pilot of it when it came out on YouTube in like 2019, and then I didn't watch it when it came to Amazon, because it was like, it's been like 4 years. I don't give a fuck anymore. Like,
that's honestly valid.
It's just because the thing is, I think we've seen already that staggered releases do better for internet discourse. That's one of the big things, is that releasing an entire season at once, people watch the whole thing and then they move on with their lives, and the discourse lasts for a week. If you do it, if you stagger the releases, people talk about it more, and that generates more people checking it out, because the conversation is revolving around it so much more, and it snowballs into it being a big cultural phenomenon very quickly. It's actually one of the things that I noticed a lot with the Amazon Prime series, The Boys. The first season of The Boys was dropped all at once. It was a drop release, and I only got into it because a couple of big Twitter accounts that I was following were like, "Hey, you should check out The Boys. It's really good." And so I checked it out, and then season 2 actually got review bombed at first for being a staggered release, but it was season 2 and mainly season 3 that blew the show up to massive proportions. It went from pretty popular to everyone and their mother is talking about the new episode that just released, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of
reminds me of Animal Kingdom.
I don't know what that is, but
It's a Star show.
Oh. I've never watched
My
it.
parents were really obsessed with it, and I watched an episode or two here and there.
Yeah, I think the episodic release is really good for a game like this. I actually like the idea of video games releasing episodically. It's just one of those things that, like, this is a game format that works very well for it. And a lot of other games don't really work as well for it because, a lot of other games aren't meant to be played the way that something like this is meant to be played.
I actually do have what I was trying to what I was trying to ask was, in comparison to like waiting, specifically in the video game world, how do you see what do you think of the public reactions for it? Like, for like the weekly releases.
I think
for Dispatch.
I think it's a good idea. I've enjoyed seeing I didn't really see a lot of the discourse until I tapped into it personally, but I like it for,
as most things go.
Yeah, I like it for I like the marketing strategy for it. I like the weekly releases for it. I think it's a really good way to get more people involved, and because the more people talk about it when a new episode releases, the more people who haven't heard of it are more likely to check it out, like I did. But yeah, I think it's overall a pretty. I'm interested to see if they do a season 2, because they've talked about it a little bit, but. I think it'll depend so much on, because I know that the way that a lot of these games work is that they'll kind of take the ending that you got and see the next season will start differently depending on how the first season ended, kind of thing. So like,
yeah, that's how I'm wondering, like, how would they even do it? Because in my opinion, I know a lot of people say that the endings aren't that different, but from a storytelling perspective, if one of the love interests turns into a villain at the end of it all, and there's an option where she doesn't turn into a villain, I like to think that that's a pretty big difference from a storytelling perspective.
There's a big difference in how you'd set up a sequel for it, because either you do Invisigal, because like there's 3 different possibilities I think for a season 2, which is Invisigal as the villain, which, obvious, if you got that ending. Shroud doing more shit if you spared him. And then if you killed Shroud and kept Invisigal on the side of good, then you just have to kind of create a new villain, which, Or maybe you bring Shroud back in a different way. Like maybe you say, because he's all tech-focused, you could say that he could, like, transfer his brain into a computer or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but like with these kinds of games, though, those are 3 very different outcomes that you have to somehow meld together into one cohesive story.
I think what you
that
do
somehow kind of merge. Like if you kill Shroud or if he's dead,
I think
that one's kind of easy to kind of like, do its own thing. But if Invisigal becomes a villain or if she stays a hero,
I think what you do,
that's a little bit on the harder side.
Yeah, Invisigal's the tricky one, because I think the solid thing to do would be the whole idea of Shroud transfers his consciousness into an AI, into a computer or something. And, that's either how he survived after dying in the first season or how he escaped from prison if you kept him alive. I think that's a pretty easy thing to write around, pretty easy difference. But Invisigal, I think the idea of Invisigal having either you try to redeem her and bring her back, or you have to defeat her. That's 2 big, very different kinds of stories that you could go for. Yeah. And I'd be interested to see what they do with it, but there's kind of a lot of kind of question marks there as to how they would do it.
They could go with a prequel if they wanted to. Yeah, I figured I'd get that reaction out of you.
I'm not the biggest fan of prequels, but especially since it kind of sounds like from what you described that the comics are already kind of a prequel.
Oh, they are, yeah.
I think
one of the comics is how Blonde Blazer and Phenomena Man broke up, and another one is how Robert lost the chunk of his ear.
That's cool. You know what I think they should do? Here's my pitch. since the majority of the discourse, and a lot of the most vitriolic discourse, has been people debating who you should romance and who you should have been able to romance, what you do is you make a non-canon dating sim as a sequel.
Yeah.
That way, if you want to rizz up Malevola, I can.
Dude, I can't tell you how many fucking sonar simps I've seen on my For You page.
I've seen you reposting slightly NSFW art of Sonar.
No, I haven't.
You reposted like a slideshow of him where he's like shirtless.
I thought the art was cool.
It's a little horny.
I thought it was cool because, like, you know, you don't see where the bat ends typically. So, like, is it just a fursuit head, or does it go down more, or like,
it's an interesting question to
I don't know.
ask, actually, but he's still topless.
Yeah, where does the bat fur end?
Does he have a weird bat dick like how Phenomenon has a weird alien dick?
Who knows?
Someone will draw it.
Someone probably already has.
One of my favorites with Phenomenon is the dialogue about how his form is considered hideous on his planet, and every compliment is a reminder of how disgusting he is. And Robert's like,
know.
"You look really good, man. Robert is bullying me again. Please make him stop."
Dude, someone in my chat called me out for that, and they said, "Look, Vexen, every time you call him a handsome himbo, you're basically making fun of him." And I'm like, fine, he's an ugly piece of shit then.
That's really good, actually. That's funny. Anyway, I think we've beaten this topic mostly to death. I do want to get onto that other topic that I mentioned.
Oh. Other topic.
Yeah, because this is something that we kind of brought up a little bit on the last episode, and I'm sure you'll be interested to hear my thoughts on it.
Is it? What is it?
So, since the last episode, I've been watching a lot of movies. The last episode was recorded a little bit before, it was like right before October started, I think. And I did my
September something, yeah.
Something like that. It took a while. I did my usual Halloween horror marathon. So things that I brought up, like Terrifier, I watched the third one, and there was one movie that wasn't a horror movie that I did watch that we did mention. I watched Wicked.
Oh my god, you did?
Yeah, I watched Wicked. That's the reaction I was looking for. That's why I didn't tell you. Yeah, so I watched the film version of Wicked because
Tell me your thoughts.
Oh Jesus.
Tell me everything.
I watched it with my family. My mom actually, I think, enjoyed it the most out of all of us.
Okay.
So I had thoughts. It was a weird instance of watching a film for me because I'd heard a lot about it, and I'd heard a lot of the positives and a lot of the criticisms, and it was a weird instance where I kind of softly agreed with both sides of it.
Okay.
Specifically, one of the things that I'd heard, I'd heard a lot of really good things about the performances and about the music, and I agree. I think actually the highlight of it in terms of performance was, I think Cynthia Erivo, the actress who plays Elphaba, is really good, actually. I think it's a character type that, as it's written, could come off as really annoying, but she doesn't. She plays it well enough that she comes off as likable.
Very genuine.
My biggest criticism of it from a story perspective is it feels really weird that everyone is so freaked out by her. Like, she's just green, dude. Like, I feel like if I saw a person that was green, my first thought would be, is that paint? Oh, it's not? Cool. But everyone's like, ah! What the fuck?
In a land of talking animals,
yeah,
no, I could agree with that.
In a land of talking animals, you're scared of a pickle? Like, what the fuck? But like, that's the thing that kind of trips me up, because like the original Wicked Witch is supposed to be really ugly, without even just the green. She's supposed to have like the big chin, the big nose, the warts.
I'll get you, my pretty. Yeah. You know, it's a dog too.
I can smell everything with this thing. But she's not horribly ugly. She looks fine. She just looks like a lady. I think that the one thing visually that I really liked from it was in one of the opening songs, the one where she's singing about me and the wizard, you know?
The Wizard and I.
The Wizard and I, yeah. There's a bit in that song when she has a line specifically about potentially not being green anymore. And the lighting around her kind of makes her skin look more like the actress's natural skin tone. She makes her black again for like a brief second as like a trick of the light almost. And I was like, that's a really nice visual effect, actually. That's a really nice visual trick right there. I don't know if they did that with CGI or just with the lighting itself, but that looked really nice.
So that's a color theory thing, actually.
Yeah, that's what I figured
there was a little bit of like a quote unquote, I don't want to say trend, but there was a thing going, there was a video thing going out on TikTok for a while, basically saying, hey, if you're white and you're dressing up as Elphaba for Halloween, make sure that the party that you're going to doesn't have red lighting. Because if it has red lighting and you have green face paint on,
it'll make it
you're
look
going
like
to look like you're in blackface.
We combine these to get Justin Trudeau.
So you literally, so yes. So it could have been a lighting thing that they did. So it is
I think
possible.
It was. I think it was because there was a lot of red light in that bit.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I thought that was a really effective visual storytelling thing as well. I thought that looked really nice.
It was so beautiful. I literally started crying during that moment.
It was weird because one of the biggest criticisms that I'd heard of it from like film Twitter, because I'm kind of tapped into pretentious film Twitter.
Oh, gross.
Yeah, no, I like reading the stupid shit that they say. But one of the big things that I heard was, oh, the color grading is so ugly. And for that particular scene, I disagree because I think that was a really nice visual bit. But for the rest of the movie, there is a lot of ugly color grading. Like when she's running through the like wheat field, and like it just looks kind of beige grayish as opposed to the kind of, you could make that look very gold and very, very vibrant, but it doesn't for a lot of the movies. So I kind of get where they're coming from with some of the color grading stuff. Color grading isn't a
fun fact
thing that I know too much about, but that is a particular instance where it did look a little ugly in places. Although for the most part, I think the film looked decent. The cinematography wasn't awful, but some of the lighting and some of the color grading did look kind of.
In my personal opinion, the not so best scene was lighting wise was Dancing Through Life, but that's a
I don't know.
That was interesting.
I don't know.
But fun fact about that dry grass field, that's actually the edge of Oz, and that desert that she's looking out at the end of the Wizard of Oz, and at that desert that she's looking out at the end of the Wizard and I. God, that was a tongue twister. That desert, that's I can't remember the name of the desert, but that's the edge of Oz. Or that's the edge of, it's the edge of their fantasy land. And nobody can fucking cross that desert. And that's why the Wizard of Oz is praised so much. Because he is the only person who has been able to cross that desert without fucking dying.
Nice. You come from fucking Wan
That's why
Shi
he's
Tong's
praised so
library
much.
or something?
Huh?
I say you come from Wan Shi Tong's library or some shit. I'm on an Avatar rewatch, by the way.
I can tell.
Yeah.
No, but he came down from an air balloon from Kansas.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm explaining for everyone else, but he came down from an air balloon in Kansas and crossed the desert and then landed in Oz and was like, what the fuck's going on? And they found him and he's like, oh, where did you come from, outsider?
So, hold on. Is the land is named Oz. It's not that he's the wizard of this land. His name isn't actually Oz, is it? Or was it just a coincidence that the land happened to have the same name as the guy?
I think he named it after himself. I can't remember.
Well, he is played by Jeff Goldblum. That tracks.
No, it's not because it's played by Jeff Goldblum.
It's a joke.
I know.
I wasn't like expecting. I didn't know Jeff Goldblum was in it until he showed up, and I was like, it's an interesting choice. I will say the opening, the whole like why she's green thing. Is it?
Oh, his name is actually Oscar Zoroaster Fandrig Isaac Norman Henkel Emmanuel Ambrosius Diggs.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Better known as the Wizard of Oz. That is his full name. I totally fucking butchered it, but I will send you the name so you can pronounce it for yourself.
I'm already on here. It says Oscar Zoroaster Farding Isaac Norman Henkel Emmanuel Ambrosia Diggs.
That is his full name. So no, he didn't name it after himself, but his name is actually Oscar. His name is Oscar Diggs. His
full initial is Oz Pinhead.
So no, he didn't. The land was named Oz before he got there. His actual name is just Oscar.
So it was just a coincidence that he could shorten his name to.
Yeah.
Reasonably, yeah. Yeah. Overall, I thought it was a pretty decent movie. I do definitely think that the other like weakest element is how the opening like narration says like, let me tell you the whole story, and then it's 3 hours to get to the end of part 1. That's not the whole story, bitch. Fuck you.
Yeah, no,
that is not the whole fucking story, you lying fuck.
I know.
The other thing that was really funny about one of the actors, the guy, I can't remember the name of the character, the like munchkin guy who's simping on what's her name? Glinda.
Bach.
Yeah. That actor, like the day after I finished the movie, was in Gen V, the spin-off show of The Boys. And he's playing it was a totally different character. It was this total whiplash of seeing this guy. Because in that show, he's playing much older. He's playing a super that had been around for it was basically like...
Ethan Slater.
Yeah. That was basically like burned to unrecognizability and then got restored and healed. And he has this ability to control people, so he can literally just look at somebody, take control of their body, and make them do stuff. So like the first thing he does is walking around on the campus in a towel and sees another guy and decides you're weak, and he has him strangle himself right there in the courtyard.
Oh my gosh. Seeing Ethan Slater do that's kind of funny, because you know why? One of Ethan Slater's first major roles on Broadway was him playing SpongeBob.
He looks like SpongeBob. That's great. He looks like...
I'm gonna send you a picture, buddy. I'm gonna send you a picture.
I'll make sure to... I'll edit it into the visuals of the podcast.
And yeah. Actually, I have a question. How did you feel about Ariana Grande's performance?
So my main thoughts on... I think she worked for the character. The only thing that takes me out of it is I know she's not a good person, really. It's one of those things kind of... Because I know that one of the scandals that happened around the making of this was her basically home-wrecking Ethan Slater and his wife. Like, he, divorced his wife on set so that he could start dating Ariana Grande, and then... I think just like a month or two ago, their engagement was called off because she's seeing somebody else now. God, he looks like a fucking dork. Holy shit, he looks like a dork. That's great. That's great.
Welcome to Broadway. Okay, putting aside the scandals, I want you to judge just her performance. I don't want to get into scandals.
Well, yeah, I think. Like, she worked well enough for the role. I think she was fine. I didn't think she was, like, anything like... I think she works very... I think one of the things about it is that she works so well for the kind of pixie pick-me bitchy girl that it could potentially make the turn towards being a legitimately decent human being feel a little bit less believable. But I think she pulled it off pretty decently. And I think that's that's mainly down to, I think, that she had good screen chemistry with Cynthia Erivo. I think they worked well together, and as a result, the twist at the end, the turn at the end of Elphaba leaving and Ariana Grande staying, and you know, all of that at the end, I think it worked well specifically because they have good screen chemistry, and because they seem
they have amazing screen chemistry.
I liked that their initial meeting and the kind of animosity that they have with each other at the start was very believable, and it resolved believably as well. You know, her kind of playing a mean prank on her and then kind of coming to her defense. It worked. It was believable enough on both parts, and I think it worked well to establish them as friends. And they do the kind of enemies to friends thing, maybe a little quicker than some other movies have done it, maybe not as developed as some other things have done it, but they did it well. That was the kind of thing that I think I said about it when I was talking about it with my family, is it's not necessarily a challenging story or anything that I look at and go, I've never seen this before, but it's done well. You know, it's not necessarily, it's an iterative story, but it's not necessarily, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's a badly told story. It's a very standard-ish kind of plot that's executed well enough that I don't care that it's super standard, you know?
One thing for me is, I should mention as well, Ariana Grande did get her start on Broadway, so she's not a stranger to anything Broadway related at all.
I didn't know she was even on Broadway before. I thought she started on Nickelodeon.
Nope. She started on Rent, which is another musical. She wasn't, I don't remember if she was a part of the starting cast or not. I don't think she was, but she was part of a pretty popular cast for Rent, the musical. And either way, I digress. So she got cast for a good reason. It's not just because she's Ariana Grande and she can sing high and she has really beautiful whistle tones that I'm fucking jealous of. Don't worry. Other theater kids will understand my jealousy.
Yeah.
But either way, I digress. I feel like genuinely she encased Glinda's like character to a T, because she's supposed to be like this, oh, I'm perfect in every way, shape, or form, and I can't do anything wrong because I'm doing it for the better good, right? Totally. You should totally believe me. When in actuality, she's just a total fucking bitch. Everyone in this movie is a total is wicked in some way, shape, or form. It's you know, it's the title. And basically everything, and we'll see this in the next movie, so I really don't want to spoil it for you, because
I'm probably gonna wait to see it on streaming anyway. I'm not like gonna go out to the theater for it.
You're missing out, dude. It's so nice to hear that in the theater.
Absolutely,
especially with
not.
Cynthia Erivo's voice.
Here's the thing. I've already seen footage of people like who went to see it and got like really advanced early screenings, and they're like on the floor between rows screaming, and people like getting up and belting out and screaming. Yeah, like just people just losing their fucking minds in like almost like Minecraft movie shit. And I know it was one of the things that like, I think it was after the first movie, Cynthia Erivo said that she didn't have a problem with people singing along to the movie in the theater, and I totally disagree. I think it's rude as fuck to start singing along in a movie. Like, if you want to do that on like a Broadway show, if that's like culturally acceptable over there, that's fine. I'm here to see a movie. Shut the fuck up. Like, actually shut the fuck up. Like, if you're gonna go to a movie and start singing along, like, do that in the comfort of your own home, because like it's the joke that I think I made this joke when I went to see the Chainsaw Man movie, or like before I went to see the Chainsaw Man movie. I said, if I hear anybody in that theater barking, I'm throwing something at them. And if I went to Wicked in the movie theater and I hear somebody like get up and start doing their own rendition of whatever song is doing right now, I'm punting the nearest object I find at your head. Like, fuck off. I am not here to hear some random stranger saying, I'm here to listen to the actual performers in the movie sing. Like, no, don't do that shit. It's so rude.
It really is. And I should mention, by the way, unless stated otherwise, it is not acceptable for people to sing in musicals. Like,
I would assume so.
I'll mouth the words to myself when I'm in a musical that I know, like, and I'm sitting in the audience. That's one thing. But, like, singing out loud or shit like that, no, don't fucking do that shit.
Yeah, no, incredibly rude. Incredibly rude.
Broadway etiquette is the same as theater etiquette. You shut up until you get out of the theater.
They're both
and then
theaters.
You can start talking about it.
They're both theaters. I mean, whether it's a stage or a screen, it's still a theater. You need to shut the fuck up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's like a Rocky Horror Picture Show kind of thing, and it's like, or like The Room, where it's like culturally acceptable to yell certain things at certain times, or it's like a hype moment thing.
like Spelling Bee. Oh, you probably don't know what that is.
I was thinking more like Rocky Horror Picture Show, or The Room is a big, like The Room. I don't know if you know about this, but there's a lot of midnight showings of The Room, the Tommy Wiseau film, widely considered to be the worst film ever made. I've seen it twice. It is that bad. I've never actually seen it in theaters. One of the common things that people do when they go to see that is they bring plastic spoons and just hurl them at the screen during certain parts.
What the fuck?
Because the reason for it is because when they made the film, the set dressers didn't have the budget to populate any of the sets with actual photos of the cast. So it's a bunch of picture frames with the image that came with the frame still in it. And the image that came with all the frames were spoons. They were just pictures of spoons for some reason. So people bring plastic spoons whenever they see one of the picture frames in the movie that has the spoons in it. They just throw spoons at the screen.
What the fuck? No, those poor employees have to fucking clean that shit up. Don't do that.
I think I'm sure people will pick it up themselves.
Are you sure about that?
They fucking should. They should if they're gonna throw.
Look at the fucking Minions movies. Do you remember that shit?
Are you talking about the Minecraft movie?
That too. But do you remember the Minion movie?
I don't remember any controversy around people throwing things in that movie. No.
Well, the Minion movie, like they would dress up as the Minions, or not as the Minions, but they would like dress up in like suits, and then.
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck, I can't remember.
Dressing up as like in the kind of Minion style, or like are those people dressing up in like business suits and making it seem like we're getting real formal to see the Minion movie, you know?
Yeah, no, okay, no, I did mean the Minecraft movie. My bad.
Yeah, the Minecraft movie
fucking,
was people
some
throwing
fucker
popcorn.
brought a chicken. How did you get a chicken in there?
That is completely ridiculous. I mean, just no, don't do that shit. Don't, you know, this is your theater lesson etiquette for the day. If you're going to be an asshole, do it in your own home, please.
Please.
If you want to scream chicken jockey, I don't mind people yelling chicken jockey along with the movie, but making a huge mess of the theater. No.
Honestly, if you want to cuddle with your chicken on the couch while watching the Minecraft movie, fucking do it in the comfort of your own living room.
And if the chicken wants you to, it might peck you.
I mean, I've seen some people have house chickens.
Even domesticated pets will get upset if you try to cuddle them when they don't want it.
True. King's a bitch like that sometimes. Yeah, right, buddy.
The random king stray. Love it. I mean, he kind of deserved it for fucking your recording up earlier, but you know.
He did deserve it.
I think the only the really funny
awful.
one. Have you ever seen the Spider-Man one?
No, I don't think so.
There's footage of this when they did No Way Home, and there were all the crazy theater reactions, people freaking out about Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield being in there. There's one where you can see on the screen Andrew Garfield coming through and pulling the mask off, and everyone freaking out, everyone's screaming and jumping up, and you can see distinctly in a row, a couple forward from the guy filming, one guy gets up and does a full backflip. He does a full standing backflip.
Oh my god.
He got some good fucking air, honestly.
Jesus Christ, don't do that shit.
You could really get hurt, but I think he actually stuck the landing.
Doesn't matter if he stuck the landing?
No, but like he didn't hurt anyone is my point, you know? He didn't like land on someone. But yeah, that's a big part of why I don't want to go see Wicked in theaters, because I don't want to run into a bunch of theater kids who think it's okay to reenact the stage production in the back row. Like, I will throw something at you.
Look. As much as the theater kids and I might raid your local Denny's at 10 p.m. after opening night and start singing the opening to Hairspray, I know enough of us will be respectful when it comes to watching Wicked in the theaters. It's the normies who listen to the soundtrack ahead of time and think it's funny to do it for TikTok trends. That's the problem.
I don't think you can necessarily say for certain which crowd is doing it, because it was a big problem when the first movie came out, apparently.
It was.
That early showing footage that I saw was it was on Twitter. It was some girl who got to see Wicked for Good, like, you know, well in advance, and when the credits are rolling, she's just down, like, between the aisles, just on the floor, just sobbing. It's like, I can understand if the film had an emotional impact on you, but you are blocking the exits. Please move. Please don't make... I've only ever had that experience, like, once. It was actually the first film I went to see after lockdown. I hadn't been to a movie for a while, and we went to see Shang-Chi when that had come out. It was a Marvel film at the time, and during the credits, there was some group of, like, teenage girls, like, somewhere in the back that were just hollering, just yelling, and multiple people in that theater yelled at them to just shut up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It was real bad. It was real. Don't do that shit. It sucks.
Yeah, no. I'm lucky to, like, never have experienced that. My local theater is pretty fucking dead. So, yay me, I guess.
Have you ever
Have you
ever actually been in a theater by yourself?
Yes. That's actually when I went to go see Babylon.
It was just
me and Vincent.
Yeah, I've had it when me, Nico, and Alan went to see Fall Guy in Las Vegas on our vacation. The theater that we went to was a smaller theater, and it was totally empty. We had the whole screening to ourselves. And then when I went to see Chainsaw Man just recently, there were only 2 other people in that theater, and they were sitting behind me. So it kind of felt like having the theater to myself, which was kind of nice, actually. I was the first one there, so for a little while I was just sitting there with my Cheetos, fucking watching the previews, just being like, it's nice, you know. And I wasn't going with anyone, like my family or anything. I was actually the only time I've ever gone to the movie theaters just totally by myself, because God damn it, I'm watching that Chainsaw Man movie in theaters.
Speaking of anime movies, there was when the My Hero movie came out, the one with Rhodey Soul in it.
World Heroes Mission.
Yeah, World Heroes Mission, that one. I went on opening day, might I mention. On opening day, first screening of the day, and I went in Todoroki cosplay. Because I was a cosplayer at the time. I had the stuff. So I was like, you know what? Fine. You know, I see a lot of other people doing it. Fuck it. I'll go in cosplay. So I went in his school uniform cosplay. I had the jacket. I had everything. It was cool. I was not only the only one in cosplay, but because I lived in such a small town, only 5 other people showed up.
That's funny.
So that picture I have of myself, I think it's still on my Twitter. That picture I have of myself in my Todoroki costume, holding up that little free program you got for going
booklet,
to, the little free pamphlet that you got for going to the movie, was literally just me all by myself. Someone asked for a picture with me. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll take a picture with you, because I was in cosplay. But.
Yeah. It's funny you bring up that specific movie, because the theater that I went to see Chainsaw Man at, the last time I've been to that theater before that was seeing Spider-Man 2.1 technically, and then before that I hadn't been to it since seeing that specific My Hero movie with my best friend.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, we took an Uber to see it, and then we were waiting for an Uber back just out in the rain because we saw a late showing. It was fun. It was a real good time.
I love it.
I like going to see anime movies in the theater. Like I saw all the My Hero movies in theaters. I saw Jujutsu Kaisen 0 in the theater, and I saw the Spy Family movie in the theater.
I actually started Jujutsu Kaisen recently.
Yeah, I remember you started it a long time ago and then never got back into it. Where are you in it?
And right now I'm on episode. Main character just died.
Oh yeah, so like 4 episodes. Yeah, I know where you are.
Yeah, he's like 5 episodes in, I think. I don't know.
Yeah.
Now that I actually have a proper anime watching account and not just raising the old Jolly Roger and forgetting that anime exists for a little bit.
Are you?
Wait, I might actually finish it.
Are you watching it on Hulu?
Crunchyroll.
Okay, I was about to say if you're watching it on Hulu, you're not going to be able to finish it because Hulu does not have season 2.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
Yeah, I have a friend who's watching through season 2 right now for the first time. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are on it because I have middling opinions on Jujutsu Kaisen. I think it's pretty. It's okay.
I know a few of the spoilers already.
I know
so like
all
I'm
of
kind of
them.
mentally. Huh?
I know all of them. JJK fans don't know how to fucking spoiler tag anything. I hate them. I hate those motherfuckers.
Neither do fucking Has-Been Hotel fans, but that's a story for another time.
Hey, maybe, you know what? I was actually thinking about it.
What?
Since we brought it up earlier, and since I watched Wicked, maybe I'll watch Has-Been Hotel and talk about it on the next episode of the podcast. Maybe I'll finally, because I keep seeing shit about it on my Twitter timeline against my will. Like, I don't interact with, I don't see anything, because like the main thing that's been getting it on my timeline is, have you seen like Agenda Hotel?
Agenda Hotel? No. Huh?
Okay. This actually kind of relates to Jujutsu Kaisen as well. So
fuck is this woke ass bullshit, huh?
Okay, don't call it woke. Hold on. So
okay, you're gonna say agenda. I'm gonna make the joke. Okay.
You don't know what agenda means though in this context. Let me explain. So agenda posting is a form of it's like a subgenre of like the power scaling kind of side of the internet.
Oh.
So agenda and slander posting is the specific practice of just shitting on characters like brutal. Like it started with I won't tell you which one, but with one of the biggest like nukes that dropped in terms of agenda posting was one centered around a Jujutsu Kaisen character where somebody made a collage post called Meet Potential Man, and it was just listing like all of these things about the characters, like, oh, he has so much potential to do this, but he never actually amounts to anything. He's a fraud, basically.
Yeah.
And Agenda Hotel has been like the new, like agenda posters have now found Has-Been Hotel and have been basically fraud watching Alistair and other characters for just getting shit on constantly. It is
going to fucking crash out, I swear to God.
It is so legitimately hilarious. I have seen so many posts about it where it's like people will do like that fucking like what is it, Viggle, where they like paste a character onto another onto like a video, and it's like Alistair dance if you're a fraud, and it's just somebody putting like Alistair dancing. It's so
Jesus Christ.
It's so stupid, but it's the exact kind of stupid that makes me laugh. It's kind of like you won't experience this because the manga has ended for JJK, but there was a thing for a while called Lobotomy Kaisen, which was
oh no.
Lobotomy Kaisen.
Oh no.
Lobotomy Kaisen was the stupid fucking shit posts that would come between Jujutsu Kaisen chapters where people didn't have like new panels to make memes out of. So people just made the stupidest jokes ever. And it was hilarious.
Oh my god.
It's sort of the same vibe as like, you've watched Invincible, right?
Not fully, but I'm almost caught up. I'm like 2 episodes through season 3.
Oh, nice. That's a good show. One of the things with the Invincible fandom is like the like, are you sure? You know, the meme of Omni-Man where it's just fucking, guess who got his powers today? Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Or the Mark, we can finally be bees. This isn't your world, but you can be a bee. You'll live for 30 years.
Oh my god.
You'll be a pet. A pet? A pet. It's just...
God, no, not the pet. Ugh, that fucking actually killed me inside.
Oh, that scene is, yeah, that's a great scene. That's like one of my favorite scenes in Invincible. That bit is great. Invincible's really good.
The woman who plays Mark's mother is an amazing actress.
Sandra Oh, she's amazing. She's lovely.
She's such a good actress.
She's great. I love her. I'm really excited for some of the stuff coming up because they've been announcing like voice cast stuff for the next season. Do you know do you know who shows up at the end of 3? Have you been spoiled on that, or should I shut up?
Nope, I haven't.
All right.
You should shut up.
I won't tell you. It's a really great reveal. But they have mentioned like the voice actor for like the Viltrumite King is going to be like Lee Pace, and that's a great choice, honestly. He's a fantastic actor. But there's a lot of great shit in Invincible. I just hope that the animation keeps up because there's been a lot of complaints about it.
Really?
Yeah, just there's a lot of slideshowy bits, and I can understand the complaint there. But for the most part, I think it looks fine.
That's fair.
And I think you would have gotten now to Powerplex, right?
I don't remember. It's been a minute since I've watched the show. We're trying to catch up on My Hero, so we're taking a break on a lot of other shows we watched.
The guy with the lightning powers. Do you remember have you seen the title card sequence where it's somebody screaming, "This isn't about me. This is about Invincible," and it's constantly cutting him off.
No, I haven't.
Weird, because you sent me an edit the other day with that audio on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah, it was a dispatch edit because the actor who plays Powerplex is Aaron Paul, who plays Robert.
Oh, yep. I didn't know that.
Yeah, Aaron Paul gets around. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier. I mentioned that at the top of the episode. I was like, yeah, he's done other voice work because he's been in other stuff.
Oh, I guess I just haven't run into him yet.
If you've got a couple of, you said you were 2 episodes into season 3?
I think so, yeah.
Okay,
I don't remember, but I know I'm in season 3, but I'm probably I think I'm purposefully putting myself back a few episodes so I don't accidentally get spoilers from you.
He's towards the end of season 3, so you'll get to him. He's fun.
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Anyway, we should wrap it up because we've been going for an hour and 37 minutes.
Yeah. All right, I'm pulling up the Patreon list right now. All right, give me a minute.
Maybe next episode we'll talk about more movies that we've watched or more things that we've done.
Yay. I'd like to do that.
What movies have you seen recently, Vex? Just hit me with one of them.
I haven't watched any movies recently.
I've watched a lot of movies recently. I recently watched Barbarian. That was a really good movie. I rewatched Weapons. And I was like, man, this movie's great. I was like, the director's done one other film. He did Barbarian. And I was like, man, this is awesome. This is a really good movie. Really good horror movie. It's the only thing I've ever seen where Bill Skarsgård isn't playing a fucking nut job. It's the only thing where he's playing like a decent human being. Love it.
All right, I got it.
Yay.
All right, so we have 3 people in our $5 tier. We have Nico, Izzy, and Reaper. And then for our $10 tier for Legendary Silver Soldier, we have Kakoa, Instant Human, and Ava Plays Games. Thank you guys so much for continuously supporting the Patreon. We really, really appreciate it, as it helps going to fund Silver Symphony as it keeps going. I know we didn't talk too much about Silver Symphony this episode, but I can say episode 4 is kicking our ass, but we are doing our best. I promise. animation just takes a while, and the months between August and December are really freaking busy. And that Studio Nephilim will be going on a break between for the holiday season. So we won't be back in, working order until January rolls around again. So it will be a little bit more of a delay. So February might not happen, but maybe March or April for episode 4. We'll see.
We will, in fact, see. But I will say that we've kind of been talking about, what the podcast is going to be centered around as much. So this might get a little bit more media chatty and a little bit less, because we don't have a lot to talk about in terms of Silver Symphony a lot of the time. So the podcast is, if you're going to be listening to it, just be listening to it because you like hearing us yap about shit, more than anything else. Anyway.
Like, if you like our streams, if you like our podcasting,
That's true. You should check out our streams. You should check out Vexen Lynn on Twitch and Kaden Alex VO on Twitch. And I don't know, you can check out other streamers, but you should always prioritize us because we're really funny and cool and, awesome and stuff.
Exactly.
Real. All right, let's end it off there. Maybe next time I will be able to get that bowl of live bees to eat. Or maybe Vex will eat it. Who knows?
I mean, maybe.